Have you ever driven through a crossroads late at night when the world feels paused, when even the wind seems to hold its breath? Some people swear that if you stop at the wrong intersection at exactly midnight, you won't be alone. They say there's a figure that appears where four roads meet, not walking, not waiting, just standing. And if it turns its head toward you, your life will never move in the same direction again. Tonight's story is one that refuses to stay buried. It's whispered about in rural towns, shared on online forums that vanish overnight, and dismissed by authorities as nothing more than folklore. But the accounts all describe the same thing, the same place, the same time, the same figure. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why crossroads, places meant for choice and movement, have become symbols of dread. Some stories scare you in the moment, others stay with you. This one waits. There's something ancient about crossroads. Long before traffic lights and asphalt, they were believed to be places where worlds overlapped, paths crossed, fates collided, and sometimes something else slipped through. In the town of Hollow Creek, population barely over 2,000, there's a four-way intersection just beyond the tree line. No streetlights, no nearby houses, just a rusted road sign and cracked pavement slowly being swallowed by weeds. Locals avoid it, not because of accidents, not because of crime, but because things happen there. An older man named Walter Green claimed he saw the figure for the first time in 1997. He was driving home from a late shift at the mill. The radio crackled with static as midnight passed, and he slowed to a stop at the sign. That's when he noticed someone standing in the center of the road, tall, thin, dressed in what looked like a long coat, or maybe a shadow pretending to be one. Walter assumed it was a drunk, someone who'd wandered too far from town, until the headlights passed straight through it. The figure didn't move, didn't react, didn't blink, and when Walter looked into his rearview mirror, his stomach dropped. It was closer. Not walking, not running, just closer. Walter never drove that road again. He moved 2 years later. He refused to explain why. Crossroads force decisions, and fear often appears when we hesitate, when we're caught between moving forward and turning back. But Walter's story wasn't unique. As more people came forward, a pattern began to form. Everyone described the figure differently. Some said it had no face at all. Others swore it smiled. A few claimed it looked exactly like someone they had lost. But every encounter came with rules, unspoken ones. It only appears at midnight, not 11:59, not 12:01, exactly midnight. It never moves first, and if you acknowledge it, the encounter changes. A college student named Emily Hart learned that the hard way. She and her friends parked at a crossroads one night, filming what they thought would be a fake paranormal video for a class project. They joked about ghosts, about demons, about how nothing ever happens in quiet towns like theirs. Then the air grew cold. The laughter stopped. There it was, standing where the roads met. Emily raised her hand and waved. The figure tilted its head. Every camera battery died at once. That night, Emily began dreaming of endless intersections, roads spiraling outward, twisting into darkness. No signs, no landmarks, just choices with no explanation. She stopped recognizing familiar streets. She stopped sleeping. Eventually, she dropped out of school. Her friends moved on. Emily didn't. She still sends messages online, asking strangers if they've seen the man waiting. Some mysteries aren't dangerous until we engage with them. Curiosity opens doors that fear tries to keep shut. And just when people thought this was nothing more than a modern legend, someone found something much older. In 2014, workers renovating an abandoned church uncovered a sealed wooden box beneath the foundation. Inside was a journal dated 1893. The handwriting was frantic, uneven, as if written by someone who hadn't slept in weeks. The journal belonged to a preacher named Samuel Hargreave. He wrote about a figure he called the one who waits where paths divide. According to Hargreave, the figure appeared during times of great loss, plagues, war, famine. It didn't kill, it didn't chase, it offered choices. The preacher claimed the figure whispered to travelers, offering them a different road, a chance to undo regret, to avoid tragedy. But every choice came with a price. He wrote that those who followed the offered path returned, but not whole. Their eyes carried the weight of every road they did not take. The The final page of the journal was smeared, the ink warped as if soaked by moisture or tears. It ended with a single line, "I see him now, and he knows my name." The church burned down a year later. No cause was ever determined. The most terrifying monsters don't force us, they invite us, and the choices we make can haunt us longer than any curse. In recent years, sightings have changed. Dashcam footage corrupts without explanation. GPS systems reroute drivers toward unfamiliar intersections. Phones lose signal, except for one detail. Some witnesses report receiving notifications at midnight. No sender, no message, just coordinates. One man followed them. His final post appeared on a small forum dedicated to unexplained encounters. "I see him now. He's closer than before. He smells like rain and rust. If I don't post again, don't come looking." His car was parked perfectly at a four-way stop. Engine running, door open. No footprints, no signs of struggle, just tire marks leading in every direction, as if the car had tried to drive all roads at once. The forum was deleted within hours. Technology was supposed to light the darkness, but some things don't hide from progress, they follow it. Some believe the figure is a guardian, others call it a demon. A few think it's nothing more than a manifestation of human regret. But one theory appears again and again. The figure doesn't stand at crossroads to stop travelers. It waits for those who are already lost. People at turning points, moments of doubt, lives suspended between what was and what could have been. Midnight isn't just a time, it's a threshold, and the figure is patient. It has nowhere else to go, because sooner or later, everyone reaches a crossroads. Fear often reflects what we refuse to confront, and sometimes the scariest thing waiting for us is ourselves. Tonight, we followed the stories from quiet rural roads to forgotten journals, from whispered legends to digital disappearances. A figure that never moves, yet always gets closer. So the next time you find yourself driving late at night, alone, paused at an empty intersection, ask yourself, if something was waiting there, would you look away, or would you choose a different path? If you want more stories that linger long after the screen goes dark, stay with Dark Narratives, because some crossroads only appear once, and some figures are still standing there, waiting.